My name is Aji, and today we're back with the You'll Never Guess What Happened series, where we attempt different fun and silly challenges and track how they go. In the last episode, I decided to play 10 games of Rogue Company, but in today's video, I'm back playing Fortnite, and this time, I'm going to be trying out the new FORTNITEMARES event, which has had the entire Fortnite community talking about it. So, let's jump straight into the gameplay. Over the last few years, Fortnite has given us a Halloween event called FORTNITEMARES, with it receiving a very mixed response from players each time. And to be completely honest, I've always hated FORTNITEMARES, so I think it was fair to say that I wasn't looking forward to the event this time around. However, to my surprise, there isn't any sign of zombies this time around. Instead, there are ghosts. As in this year's FORTNITEMARES, once you die, you respawn on the map as a ghost, where you can attack the rest of the living players, which can lead to some really scary moments.
Oh my god.
Being the last player alive is no longer enough to secure the win, as this time, you've got to defeat the rest of the ghosts as well. If you're the last player alive and die to a ghost, then all of the ghosts left in the game will get the win. Because of this, it's best to kill the ghosts whenever you get the chance, as if you make it to the late game and there's still plenty of ghosts on the map, you can easily get swarmed by them, which can be really difficult to deal with.
Oh my god. Ah!
The ghosts only have 100 HP, which makes them fairly easy to kill. However, what makes them a challenge is that they can phase through your builds, meaning that hiding inside a box isn't always an effective strategy.
Oh my god. Ah!
In my first game of the event, I'm able to make it to the final 1v1, securing myself 9 kills on the way, and thankfully, there aren't any more ghosts left to deal with. However, the final player has even better ping than me, which really takes me by surprise.
Oh. Oh shit. Oh. Oh.
I'd completely forgotten that I would come back as a ghost.
No. 44? What do you mean?
Whilst Game 1 had gone way better than I expected, Game 2 wasn't quite as successful.
No.
I was happy to see that the zombies weren't here this time. However, something that we have seen the return of is the mist, which makes it really difficult to see.
What is this?
Whilst heading towards the circle, I spot a player north of Lazy Lake who's trying to fill up his car. That wasn't the last time I was going to see that player though, as once he comes back as a ghost, he heads straight towards me.
I like it.
With the ghosts regaining health by eating weapons and materials, it means that killing the ghosts can give you some awesome loot.
Oh. Yes, please.
Later on, I spot a player south of Sweaty Sands, and I absolutely laser him. So I push in confident, as this should be an easy kill.
Nope. No way.
I'm not sure how I lost that fight, but I was able to have the last laugh.
Shit on.
I can imagine that player is really mad right now, but that didn't stop me from charging at the next player I saw.
No.
In Game 4, I decided to land at Doom's Domain. It's one of the busiest drops this season, but Dr. Doom's henchmen carry LMGs, and I know that if I'm able to get my hands on one, then it'll really help to deal with the inevitable onslaught of ghosts. However, I definitely underestimated how difficult this would be.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Eventually, I'm able to defeat Dr. Doom and his henchmen, which allows me to get all of the vault loot for myself. I'm able to come out of there with some great loot, but unfortunately, I've misjudged how far the circle is, and I die to the storm, with my time as a ghost coming to a conclusion shortly after. Playing as a ghost can be a lot of fun, as you know that the player you're attacking is probably getting really annoyed by it, but when you're the only ghost attacking a player, it doesn't typically end well.
No.
In Game 6, I decided to land at Misty. It was right at the end of the bus path, so I was expecting a quiet start, but I'm actually able to rack up a few early kills. Later that game, I end up near the Fortilla and find myself build fighting a player. I decide to turtle up, as I want to reload my weapons, but not all of these builds are my own.
What?
Determined to get revenge, I charged straight at my killer. When I was alive, my opponent seemed like a decent player, but as soon as I come back as a ghost, it's like he's never played the game before.
There is no way.
Unlike the last few games, there are 15 ghosts on the map still, compared to only 5 living players. And with us having such a numerical advantage, we're able to overpower every single player that we see, meaning that only one conclusion is likely.
Yes.
It's not really how I wanted to get my first win of FORTNITEMARES, but I'll take it. In Game 7, I decide to land at the Ruins, which is taken over from the Authority for the FORTNITEMARES event. Currently, this is the busiest drop on the map, so I was expecting a lot of early action, which I'm only just able to survive. The Ruins are such a chaotic place to land. It's so incredibly noisy, which makes it really hard to hear properly, but I'm not going to blame that for what ends up being a pretty embarrassing death.
Oh my god.
And my time as a ghost is about as successful. Although I'm not a huge fan of this year's FORTNITEMARES, the fact that there aren't any zombies is a huge plus for me. In that first year especially, the zombies were incredibly annoying, and it was impossible to get away from them. I actually made a little cinematic film based on one game I had, which showed just how crazy FORTNITEMARES was that year. And then last year, zombies would randomly jump at you out of nowhere, which could be really scary, and I wasn't a fan of it.
Oh fucking hell. Oh my god.
My main issue with FORTNITEMARES this year is that if you do get multiple ghosts attacking you, it can be almost impossible to deal with. Like, if you kill a player and you're left weak, you'll typically find your opponent charging at you when he becomes a ghost. And because he can phase through your builds, a lot of the time, you won't have time to heal up. And if there's more than one ghost attacking you, it can be nigh on impossible to deal with, which can be frustrating. In Game 8, I'm able to make it to the final 1v1, having got myself 8 kills on the way. And when you're armed with a gold pump and a drum gun, you've got to feel confident. .220 to the head. What a great way to finish the match. Or at least, that's what I thought, as I'd forgotten that my opponent would come back as a ghost. Thankfully, this wasn't a big issue for me, as my opponent gives up, leading to an easy final kill. It felt good to get my first proper win of FORTNITEMARES, and it felt even better with me getting 10 kills, even though half of the kills were from ghosts, so they don't really count. That's probably why these games are counted as LTM matches on your record, as it's a lot different to normal Fortnite. As I head into my final match, I'm happy with how these games have gone. I've won a game as a ghost, and got myself a regular win. So I do feel like I've got the full FORTNITEMARES experience. And honestly, I've not hated it as much as I expected to. I thought I'd end up rage quitting, like I did in previous years, but it was actually a lot less painful. There were even a few times where I'd say I actually had some fun. Crazy. But a big problem that I've noticed with FORTNITEMARES this year is that once the initial excitement of being a ghost wore off, a lot of people would leave the match once they became ghosts, with many finding it boring, and I can understand that. I was able to win a game as a ghost, but it didn't feel very rewarding, whereas when I won a game as a living player, the victory felt more earned. During my final game, I somehow found myself on 17 kills, so it was looking like I could get my first 20 kill win of the season. Because of this, I'm pushing everyone that I see, although I am almost punished for some reckless play. Eventually, I make it to the final 1v1, and I'm on 20 kills. How has this happened? If I kill this final player, then this will be the highest kill game I've ever had. Thankfully, my opponent doesn't seem too good, but he's doing well to keep away from me. I get him weak. Knowing that I'm one clean shot away from killing him, I build up, ready to secure the kill, until...
No! Oh my god! I am an absolute bot.
How have I done that? Why am I like this? I still can't believe it. There is a chance that I can still get the win, as my opponent is weak, but the small glimmer of hope I have quickly vanishes.
Oh my god.
So that's the end of the 10 games. I was able to get 2 wins, one as a ghost, and another as a regular player. Although there definitely should have been another win. But let's forget about that last game. Overall, I had an okay time. I'm not going to pretend I like FORTNITEMARES this year, but the fact that I didn't want to trash my monitor constantly throughout these 10 games is definitely not what I expected, so I'm not going to complain too much. So, have you enjoyed FORTNITEMARES this year? And did you prefer it with the zombies? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on the screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it'll go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.